Alright, what up? How are you guys doing? So, today is gonna be the guide for Harper and Charlotte, how to use them, which artifacts you want to use on them. And yeah, I want to change the formula because usually I would read the skills and everything, and I don't think it's really anything interesting, honestly. You can read yourself, so I'm gonna focus on the artifacts and probably the skill rotations and some tips and tricks on both. I think that would be more interesting than just reading the skills and then explaining you what it means. So first we're going to go with Harper. So Harper is a breaker that scales off HP. And let's jump right into it. For the set, obviously you want to go full greed. She's a breaker, so greed is perfect for her. She's going to break faster with the 8 piece, and also she's going to buff the whole team. So now breaker have this effect that they can break faster, but also boost your team, so they're not just here to break the fucking shield and then do nothing else. Then it's pretty easy, honestly. You want to get as much HP as you can. The HP is not that high right now. My Emma, for example, has way more. But the HP, you want HP, then you want critical hit damage, obviously. You want death pen, damage increase, all that. Damage increase and death pen, I usually try to keep it between 10 and 15%. Critical hit damage between 180% and 190. And then obviously critical hit rate, you want to be at 50%. The rest you just want the stat that the hunter scales off. For the skills, I would recommend both skills to max and the ult. Probably the ult first and then second skill, then first skill. I think that's how I would do it. Then you can do the core attack since she gets the core attack when you use the first skill. That's what I went with. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the technical part of the thing. Obviously, there's a few cool features with Harper. When you use your basic attack, for example, while I'm talking, I'll put you a gameplay, obviously, of it being used. If you use your basic attack with Harper, she dashes forward, like it's just the animation of it, and it makes her super fast. So for example, if you're doing some speedruns in story, or I don't know, maybe later, not right now, but later it could be useful. Second thing, obviously her core attack stuns, and then usually what you want to do is stun and then use the second skill, and you have to hold it, right? For her to do all the smashes, you have to hold it. But if you use a QT skill while you do this hold skill, she will continue it all the way. So let's say I'm with Harper. Usually what I would do is QT in with Harper, use the Q, use the core, and then I would start doing the E, QT to the other one, to the next hunter, and then she would still do it. So it would allow you to break while you're already trying to set up Charlotte, for example. So I think that's the main two things with Harper. Obviously, you want to try to ult with Harper before you do all your damage with Charlotte, obviously, because her ult is gonna buff Charlotte. For the alternative sets for Harper, you could go Solid Analysis and then Sylph, I would say. I think that's what I would go with. Or you could go Solid Analysis and Concentration of Firepower. And I think that's about it. But like, yeah, full greed is the way to go with her. Moving on to Charlotte, she's a DPS that scales off defense. So she's the same as Dongsu, but obviously way better. She's pretty interesting the way she works, you know. You don't get your ult by just getting engaged, you get your ult by using your basic attacks, and you get your ult every 20 seconds. Here again, I'm not gonna change what's working. Full curse is the way to go. Honestly, full curse is just the best for her. You can't really do 4-4 because the right side for her isn't really good. For example, expert doesn't work. You would use maybe outstanding ability, because she doesn't use that much MP, or you could use maybe concentration, but here again, you don't really care about her cooldowns. So yeah, 8-piece curse is the way to go. Also, I want to mention something, is that in my opinion, going for 8 pieces sets is way better in general, since you need BP, and like the higher you BP, usually the higher damage you deal. So I think that's an important part. Let's say you don't have curse at all, I would probably go for Warmonger, because Warmonger gives you defense. Or you could go with one hit kill, but only 2 of them. But then that would leave you with 2 spots that are not going to be used. So yeah, I think Warmonger, maybe toughness is fine-ish. But yeah, really, 8-piece curse is the way to go. When it comes to stats, it's the same as Harper, but just with defense. So you want as much defense as you can. And then you want 50% critical hit rate, some crit damage. You also want good defense penetration and good damage increase. And that's pretty much any hunter, honestly. The thing I told you about, like 15% of both, then 180 to 190 of crit damage, and then higher possible on the other stats, the stat of scaling. I think that applies to pretty much any hunter. When it comes to skills, I would do the ult first, obviously, for sure. Then I would probably go basic attack, and then I would go second and first skill. Honestly, she's not too reliant on having level 10 skills, except for the ult. Like, the rest could be 7 and it's not that bad. Same for Harper. Harper is not a damage dealer, so you could remain with level 7 skills and it wouldn't be that bad. But yeah, honestly, the ult is a great investment. It hits like a truck, honestly. Maybe I can mention a few tricks with her. Same as Harper, if you use her E, then QTE out, she will continue doing it, so that's pretty cool. Also, there's a thing that I use with her quite a lot, is that I usually don't ult when I get my first ult. I usually get my first ult, stack a bit of her stacks, obviously, and then switch, right? I won't use the ult, but then I will use the ult on the next rotation. So let's say I start with her, build her stacks, then get to my, for example, buffer, then get to my Harper to buff her again, and then I will switch back to her, Q, ult instantly, and then while I've done that ult, I can do 3 more basic attacks to get my ult back. And then you have this really big burst phase where you get 1 ult in, do few basic attacks, get another ult in. So for example, if you have Min's ult active or even Harper's ult active, you're gonna deal insane amount of damage. There's this, when the user uses a dash, that dash becomes a charging skill and the direction it goes can be controlled. So I didn't understand it until I found it by accident, is that if you hold your dash button, so for example, if you're on PC, if you hold spacebar, she will disappear and become a little cloud, a little purple cloud, and you can go super fast with it. And I feel like it's not really that useful right now, except maybe for like Kaisel, you know, when he does his soul phase, you can like go to each soul pretty fast. And I think that's about it for the presentation. I wanted to make it short, concise, and like heavy on information rather than a long thing where I would read a bunch of stuff, and like I don't think it's that useful, and I could just go over what's important. I will leave you guys with a short gameplay of, for example, a rotation I would do with Charlotte and Harper. And yeah, if you did like this video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. We're on our way to the 5k subscribers, so it's pretty insane. Also, the Netmarble Creator Season 4 just arrived, so you can join and be one of my supporters for free, obviously, in the description. You just follow the link and then link your game account to your Netmarble account, and you will be one of my supporters, and you will get insane codes when I get them. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you a lot, and I'll see you guys in my next one. See ya. 遊びの時間よ。面白そう。せい、遊んであげる。あっち行って反撃する。次はあなたの番。はって反撃する。来なさいイスラ。天がお怒りです。面白かったわ。惜しかったね。せや。どうってことない。自由の光。これはちょっと痛いぞ。バフ準備完了。すべての者たちに祝福を。はあ、くらえ。ビューンって飛んで行くわよ。うん、華麗に決めて。私怒ったもん。せい、次はあなたの番。はあ、遊んであげる。行くわよ。華麗に決めて。おもちゃがこんなにたくさん。計画成功。